It's day 2 of the IFL. See, I had SFL because we just had a conversation about them yesterday. The IFL draft here. Yeah, big fail. Anyway, Ed's got family around him. I got kids around me. So if you hear any noise, just deal with it. It's called being family. So it's day 2. Same rules as yesterday, gentlemen. Submit the pick, submit the tier, and the position. So I can find them real quick. I'm going to update the website as we go. I'm going to make the guys red like yesterday, 2 days ago. And you'll know they're off the board. You can make trades while we're picking, do all that stuff. You got to get it to me. I already had one question. We're going to do 60 to 90 seconds. What's the amount of time for the draft picks? I think 90 was too short as it was for some particular players. So I'll probably just stick with the same 90 just to make it fair. And remember, as soon as this draft's over, 8 o'clock tonight, that's 8 o'clock Eastern, the free agent board will open. And in 24 hours, I'll be awarding players to the highest bidders. Now, for some reason, this is still going on at 8 o'clock. Then the board will open up. Free agency will open up after the draft. But it will still close at 8 o'clock tomorrow as I will award who is the top bidder for said players. And we'll do 24-hour intervals until everybody fills their rosters. I think I explained that, right?
Yep.
So if you have any questions, whatever, let me know in the chat. We'll get to it. I posted the draft order on Slack. And for those of you unaware, I'll just give you the draft order for the 4th round here real quick. It's Detroit, New York, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Tokyo, Green Bay, Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, San Diego, Atlanta, Winnipeg, Dallas, Nashville, Tampa Bay. And the compensatory picks at the end of round 4 will be New York, Tampa Bay, New York, New York. And then we'll get into the 5th and 6th rounds. So it was an exciting day yesterday. The very first player taken off the board by the flight was cornerback G.T. Williams, who was taken as a gold. Tokyo gave us another back-to-back gold corners. Plenty of gold quarterbacks were taken. It was a quarterback-heavy first round. Corners weren't too far behind. And then we had some surprise picks like a fullback, which I didn't see coming. A kicker was taken. So a very exciting first day. So before we actually open up the board for the Hawks, Ed, you got anything you want to throw in here real quick?
Nope, let's do this.
Let's do this. All right, remember, I need the player, the position, and the tier. That said, 90 seconds. Detroit Hawks are on the clock. So, yeah, they're Detroit Hawks.
Yep, they took an inside linebacker, they took a tight end, and they took a free safety.
Mm-hmm.
That was their draft so far. Oh, sorry, and I missed their kicker. And they took a kicker. I forgot they had 2 there. It's all 2. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, they had 2 picks in the 2nd, 2 picks in the 3rd.
Right. So, yeah, and once 90 seconds expires, picks will be forfeited. It's that simple. All I can say to anybody is if you couldn't make it, you should have sent me a draft board. So we'll see what Alex and company do here. I think they've had a very interesting draft thus far. We're 1 minute in the clock here. They got about 30 seconds to submit this pick. And we'll see if he makes it in time. Because I know a couple times yesterday he got right to the end of the clock before submitting. Down to 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6.
Is he even
5,
in the draft? Anybody knows if is he even around?
2, 1. And he's nowhere to be seen. So that is 90 seconds. So we will now put forfeit next to that pick.
Wow.
All right. So they forfeit the pick, which means The New York Cobras, you were on the clock. So we'll see where the Cobras go. What's your thoughts on the Cobras draft so far?
Well, let's see what they did. They took a free safety. They took a quarterback. They took a running back. And they took an outside linebacker.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty quality draft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Okay.
You're lucky I'm on a radio show.
Just got a message. I believe that was him. Let me see. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, pick is in. Let me get it wrote down for everybody so I can keep this board up to date like I did yesterday. The only thing I didn't do today was reset my computer so I had no lag issues. So watch me get lag issues tonight.
How do you spell dairy?
Okay. The pick by the Cobras is at the silver tier. Wide receiver Quentin Huff.
It's gonna be your own. You're not sharing it.
All right, wide receiver Quentin Huff, taken by the Cobras.
He's 6'5", 226 pounds.
Yes, he is. That's a big fella out there.
Literally.
That's a very solid pick. I'm looking at his build and size. I'm actually shocked he's still there.
Yeah.
All right. Trying to see where I get everybody going around. All right. There's plenty of talent left indeed, David Yanez says. Mighty quickly agreed with that. I couldn't agree more. All right. That means the Baltimore Bulls are on the clock, and he wasted no time. He already sent me the information. So I am going to get him marked off the list before I make the announcement. All right. All I gotta do now is go find him and make him red.
Oh boy.
Okay. The Baltimore Bulls select from the bronze tier, that's bronze, wide receiver Terry Jones.
Wait, what are you saying?
Wide receiver Terry Jones at the bronze tier goes to the Bulls. Gotta like that pick as well. That's a nice build.
6'3", 212 pounds. Got some interesting abilities.
Right. Okay. Tampa Bay Stallions, you are on the clock. We'll see where the Stallions go. I'm looking at their build right now, and I'm thinking, where could they go?
They took a free safety. They took a quarterback, a wide receiver, an inside linebacker, a defensive tackle, a running back. And a very interesting draft for them.
Mm-hmm.
If all the stuff that we didn't have that has milk in it, I could go without milk.
Hey, their pick is in. Took them 38 seconds. All right, marking them off now. All right. The Tampa Bay Stallions are taken at the bronze tier cornerback Dallas McKnight. The 6', 189-pound corner. Little on the small side, I think, for a corner, but a solid build, I think, with the ability selection of leadership, ball hawk coverage bonus, run coverage, wrap-up tackling, and quick feet.
But I could do it.
So I think that's a pretty good build there.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to tell you, Baltimore just sent me their pick.
All right.
Baltimore knows they are on the clock. They wasted no time. All right. Let's see here. Let me write it down. Oh, gosh. And they're up to their tricks again. You got to love it. They are up to something with this team this season. They're wanting to get that chip. Okay, they are taken from the bronze tier. Cornerback Eric Dorsey, and they've included the information they will be moving him to strong safety. So Eric Dorsey, corner, being moved to strong safety. That means the Tokyo Kitsune is on the clock. And that's the experience. That's what I'm going to call that. That's the experience of Mighty. That's the experience of TJ. The way they find the build that they like, but not quite to the tier they want. And then what do? Move the guy, but get the build, which to me is very slick. Hey, you guys are going to have to give me a minute on this one. I'm going to have to do some updating here. I've just gotten an alert that says the Tokyo Kitsune have traded the pick. So we have a trade. All right, the Tokyo Kitsune have traded with the Philadelphia Flight.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Flight will be getting this pick. And in return, Tokyo gets the 10th pick in the 4th round and a 6th round pick next season. Okay. So I got to update the draft board on that. So again, that is a Philadelphia Flight will get the 6th pick in this round. Tokyo will get the 10th pick in this round. And then Tokyo will get a 6th round selection next season. Interesting. And I believe they've already sent me their pick, so I'm going to update the draft board so I have it proper to order. Okay. So our first actual live draft trade just took place.
Nice.
Okay. And yes, Spec Poo, Mr. Chris Davis, has sent me his pick.
Sorry if you guys hear the family talking, but you know.
Hello.
Oh God.
But I like them.
Yeah, hello. All right.
That was Drew.
Okay. The Philadelphia Flight have finally done what I've been waiting all draft to do. They're taking at the gold tier running back Ethan Cobbs. Ethan Cobbs. But I will say this. That's not quite the build that I thought he would have gone with, which goes with everything he's been doing this whole entire draft and offseason. Completely different from last year. He must have found something he likes in the offseason, and he's building something new. So I'm very curious in what direction the Flight will look. So, all right. Green Bay Grizzlies, you are on the clock. I didn't waste no time. I just got right to him.
What is that?
And we're going to see where the Green Bay Grizzlies go. They're another interesting team. I think you would agree with that.
Yep. Let's see, they took a quarterback, and they took a running back, both at silver, and then they took a wide receiver at bronze.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the pick is in. And the Green Bay Grizzlies have selected at the bronze tier cornerback James McCoy. So this is another corner off the board. This is a corner-heavy round so far. We've got 2 wide receivers, 3 corners, and a running back, and a forfeit. And 1 silver, 1 gold, and everything else has been bronze. So cornerback James McCoy, bronze tier, to the Grizzlies. Boston Liberty is on the clock. I guess that's their alert that they're on the clock.
She's like this. Not like this. That's why you're supposed to take your medicine in the morning. Literally just like, I get one free shot. No, I will hit you right there.
Wow.
No, I get one free shot. No, yes, I do. I'll punch you right in your nose all the time. Would you shut up? No.
His family's very excited at the moment.
I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. I'm not paying any attention to.
It's all the females, ain't it?
Oh, the boys are here too. They're all sitting here. They're eating supper.
Hello. Children.
Hey, people.
The people. Okay. I have the pick in. Making sure I have the right pick information before I make the announcement like I usually do. So bear with me as I do this. Yes. All right. The Boston Liberty are taking at the bronze tier cornerback Mike West.
At least somebody knows.
It's been a run on corners here, man.
There's been 3 taken in this round. So
Yeah. All right. Chicago.
bronze.
Yes. And Chicago Assassins, you are on the clock. It's been interesting, to say the least. Let's see where the Assassins go. What do you think of their build so far?
I'll tell you what they've done so far. Chicago has taken a gold quarterback. They've taken a silver corner and a copper fullback.
Yeah.
Like again, that's like I said, I apologize for my children acting like a fool.
Oh, I got the Chicago's pick. And the theme continues. We have another bronze corner. This time it's Donnie Green. Bronze corner, Donnie Green.
Stop it. You do it
6'3",
every night.
214 pounds.
Yeah, one of the more bigger corners in the draft, I think.
Yeah, his abilities are coverage bonus, quick feet, quick speed, ball hawk, run coverage, and hush.
Interesting. That's the Assassins. Okay. That means Tokyo Kitsune is on the clock again. Will they make it pick this time, or will they trade again? We are already to the 10th pick of the round, and we've only been on the air 25 minutes.
That's awesome. Moving along.
Moving along quite nicely. on in the chat? Davis is like, that's a good thing. Speed this up. David Yanas, that's called being prepared. Yeah. I honestly thought round 2 would go real smooth in round 4, possibly in round 5. But I think when we get to round 6, all of a sudden it's going to be like drag. Because now we're down to the nitty gritty. Guys are going to want to make sure they get that right player. Especially when you get to these teams that are finally getting their 13th and 14th players where you're not quite sure where you want to put them. So, okay. We have the pick. Let me go find him so I can make the edit. Where's he at? Okay. For those of you who missed yesterday's draft, this is kind of technically Ramos's first official pick live.
Yeah, because he wasn't here. He sent you a board for him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your wife is after me. She's beating me up.
Awesome. Let's see. He took a corner and a running back and a strong safety. Oh, and a tight end.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He has taken at the copper tier outside linebacker Pete Chavez. Outside linebacker Pete Chavez, copper tier.
Stop, Drew. Drew, get that off your brother. Stop.
All right. The San Diego Bulldogs are now on the clock. Where will the young lad go this time?
Nope. Yesterday he went, well, not yesterday, Friday. He went with a gold quarterback, a gold strong safety, and a silver corner.
All right, his pick is in. I'm already doing the updates on it. You're going to have fun discussing this particular build, I'm sure.
Okay.
All right. The Bulldogs have selected at the bronze tier tight end Tito Gonzalez, which is at Surfman on Slack. That's a big fella. Tito Gonzalez.
You're supposed to know.
Tight end to the Bulldogs. Okay. Atlanta Rhinos, you are on the clock. So while we wait for their pick, what do you think of Mr. Tito Gonzalez?
Honestly, I didn't even look at the tight ends.
He is 6'6", 247. Soft hands, route god, quick feet, tough in the middle, bulldozer, breakaway burst. I've been asked a question right here live during the draft, and I don't mind asking it. We can make a decision right here as we speak. I was just asked if someone selects a tight end, would anyone have an issue with them moving them to receiver? I personally do not.
I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
What?
Why would you?
What do you want, Dwayne? Clean you up. How am I supposed to clean? All right, hold on. Yeah, there's guys right there. They agree with me. I don't. Guy's a tight end. He's a tight end. He's not going to be a wide receiver. You don't often see a guy move from tight end to wide receiver. You might see a wide receiver to tight end on a kick because how big he is, but you don't ever see a tight end go to wide receiver. All right, hold on for a second. I'll be right back. I got to clean my son up, put him in the room.
Okay. Well, it seems like people would have seems like clearly in the chat, guys are having a problem with a huge tight end going to wide receiver. A smaller size tight end doesn't seem to be a concern. So, I mean, that makes sense. Well, then let's put it this way. In case someone's interested, let's set a weight limit. We can make that decision right now. A tight end under how many pounds would seem plausible? And I do have the Rhinos pick, but I just haven't gotten to it because we're discussing this here really, really quick. Winnipeg, I know you're listening. You can start figuring out who your pick's going to be because you'll be on the clock in just a moment. Okay. Well, then I'd put it this way. Since it's kind of all over the place with this tight end discussion, I think just for this season, tight ends will remain tight ends. Just because you got a 240 suggestion, you have a 225 suggestion. We could be on the air for 20 minutes just trying to figure out a fair medium. So tight ends need to stay at tight end. That's all we can do for this season. But it's definitely something we can bring up for discussion in the off season and work on that because that'd be more interesting. All right. So I think Ed just came back.
Yep.
Yeah. As you can see in the chat, some people don't have a problem with it depending on a player's size. A smaller tight end going to wide receiver is plausible to them. I said, what about a weight? We have a 240 a suggestion. We have a 225 suggestion. We have height suggestions. Because it's a little all over the place, I said the fairest thing we can do, since we didn't discuss this, leave tight ends at tight ends for this season. And then next season, in the offseason, we can definitely discuss it and create a size limit for tight ends to go to wide receiver. I think that's the fairest way we can do this. So, with that said, we're going to move along.
Sounds good to me.
So we're going to move along. We're going to get to the Atlanta Rhinos pick because the Atlanta Rhinos sent me their pick while we were having that discussion. The Rhinos have selected bronze outside linebacker Tank Sherman. Outside linebacker Tank Sherman. Which means the Winnipeg Crusaders are on the clock.
Oh, and they're Winnipeg saying they believe the steal of the draft is going to be this pick.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Let's see what they got. Okay, and I'm going to find him. I'm going to mark him off. I see the pick. This is going to be the steal of the round or the draft. Okay, let me double check the tier. Okay. Okay, the Winnipeg Crusaders have taken at outside linebacker at the copper tier in Mike Barber. You say the steal of the draft. I didn't expect it to be a copper, so that's ballsy. I like it. I like it. All right, we're moving on to the 14th pick of this round, which will be the Dallas Wranglers, followed by the Nashville Nightmares, and then the Tampa Bay Stallions. Dallas Wranglers, you are on the clock. The Wranglers are one of those teams who actually have some spots open at the silver tier, so my gut would be you'd think they'd go silver here to fill that in. What do you think?
You would think.
So we'll see where they go here. There's a lot of talent still on this board. I'm just looking over some of these builds at different random positions, and it's pretty impressive, some of the stuff we still have left. Okay. Okay, we have the pick. And it's basically what we were just discussing. The Dallas Wranglers are taking at silver tier wide receiver Calvin Corbett. I don't find that to be a shock. I'd have went silver as well with that pick. And the wide receiver at silver, good move. Calvin Corbett. Okay.
6 foot, 204 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Means the Nashville Nightmares are now on the clock. And we'll see where good old Maurice goes here.
Well, he took a gold quarterback. He took a silver wide receiver and a silver corner.
Yeah. It's an interesting build he's got going on over there, I think. What do you think?
Yep. Jeez, you're kicking the shit out of him.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I flipped. Got off there for a second. Went over to NFL Mobile, checking some scores here. Dallas is kicking the crap out of San Francisco. It's 40-3 in the fourth quarter.
Jesus.
Pittsburgh's beating Cincinnati in the third, 26-14. Chargers are beating Denver 14-0 in the fourth.
Nice.
Seattle is beating the Giants 10-7 in the third.
Okay.
Oh, man. Can't believe I watched all that Browns game and got to be heartbroken and disappointed again. Oh, well. Such is life.
Well, Maurice has got 10 seconds because I didn't start the clock right away. Or he'll be forfeiting his pick.
Excuse me. Wow, he's not here either?
At the moment, no.
Okay. I find that very interesting. Guys knew this was coming, and they're not going to be here. And they didn't send draft boards in, nothing.
Right. Okay.
That's
Time
very
is a wrap.
interesting to me. Forfeit, huh?
No, wait. No, he sent me. Oh, he got me.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, he sent it. I didn't get the alert. It's actually been sitting there for a minute.
In at the last second.
It actually was sitting there, and it never went off. I don't know why that was.
Oh.
I see now why. I had his window open in my Slack, and the way I have the Slack app downloaded on my computer. So whenever somebody talks on a channel I don't have open, I'll get the alert down at the bottom. I actually had his window open waiting.
That's why I didn't.
And it didn't give me the alert, and I was sitting here doing some scrolling. I just happened to look. He sent me the pic like a minute ago.
All righty, then he wasn't it.
So that's
all right. He's on top of his game. So what's your fault, you slacker, you?
Yes. Okay. Hey, where is he at? There it is.
He's not doing that.
I gotta find his team so I can write it down properly.
Yeah, Drew found some balloon with the the big rubber bands on the end of them where you can bounce them and smack them off your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. So if you hear, you know what the hell that is.
Well, we are going to have back-to-back silver wide receivers taken, as the Nashville Nightmares are taking Justin Jackson, the 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver. That's a big fella at wide receiver.
All right. Tampa Bay is on the clock, huh?
Hey, Alex, just out of nowhere, just sent me the pick he wants that I asked him about 20, 30 minutes ago. So I told him, I said, well, we're already at pick 15, 16 in this round. You're going to have to wait till the next round to see if you can get this player. That's the best he can do.
Yep.
And yes, the last pick of the round, and before the compensatory picks of the round, the Tampa Bay Stallions are on the clock. Yes, the Tampa Bay Stallions are a very curious team. I'm not sure where they're going to or not going to go, because they can be pretty much all over the place in this draft when you look at their build so far. But I like the build. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, they went free safety, quarterback, wide receiver, inside linebacker, tackle, running back.
Okay, pick is in. Let me get the tier. Okay. Just double checking the tier on this player and writing it down. What I do is when I say double checking the tier, what I do is I go and I make sure that they have that spot available on their team. For some of the stuff that went down yesterday. Okay, which they do. Gotta give me a second to figure out how to pronounce this name. Okay, it will be at the copper tier, defensive end, Jonas Johansson. And Jonas Johansson is actually on our Slack at J McMorris. He's a 6'7", 278-pound defensive end. Okay. That means we now move on to the compensatory picks. And the New York Cobras are now on the clock. So, where will Taco go with this one? Ed must be busy. Yeah, but they're having a conversation with Mr. Bo Davis working on your draft.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have the pick. And they are going Copper. And they are also going outside linebacker with Denzel Mayweather. Denzel Mayweather to the Cobras. All right. That means the Tampa Bay Stallions are once again on the clock. If I'm not mistaken, this will be the Stallions' 14th player. This would be their last pick, I believe. I think that's right. Okay. So where do you think they go with this one?
I have no clue.
Oh, I'll tell you in a minute because I just got the pick.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
Guys, it's 10 till. You better get on the network.
Wait, 10 to
10 till
The hell's
7.
on- The hell's on the network?
Oh, TLC pay-per-views tonight.
Oh, yippee! I know. Kids still love it, though.
I know you don't like it, and I really don't. I mean, I'll watch it here and there, but they love it, so.
Mm-hmm. All right. The Tampa Bay Stallions are taking another defensive end, this time James Thomas. So just to recap, they took Jonas Johansson, 6'7", 278, and now just took James Thomas, another 6'7", 281. So they got two 6'7" defensive ends. Trying to beef up on the outside, I guess.
That's what it sounds like.
Wow. That's holy smokes. And Taco just messaged me and said, this is my last pick. I'm out of players after this.
Alrighty.
So he's on his final pick. So this is good. I love when guys get to their last picks. Because then there's no worrying about who's going to fill their roster when and where and this and that and how and all that other good stuff. So let's see where old Taco goes. All right, we got the pick in. I knew he wasn't going to take long. Since it was his last pick, you'd assume he knew what he wanted. Okay, how do you say this name? He is taking a copper tier Helmut Bosengeist. Helmut Bosengeist, which is the kicker, which is at Fletter for 13. So that's Flutter 13's second player. Because he's also got the other kicker in the league because he wanted 2 kickers. He must have been a kicker in real life since he likes his kickers. I'm going to call it here right now. I did not think that Taco and the Cobras were ever going to go with a kicker.
Nope.
But he went kicker. So
Okay.
Helmet Bosengeist, Flutter 13 on Slack is officially off the board. And now New York is full, from my understanding, from what he just said. And Tampa Bay is full, from my understanding, what he just said. I'm double checking this to make sure they're not crazy, which, if coming from Taco, would be. Taco just made 3 picks. He's full. Tampa Bay made 3 picks. They're full. So, okay. When those 2 teams have picks coming up now in the draft, we're just going to go right on by them.
Nice.
And luckily for Alex, he's going to get the guy he wanted because his guy is still there. And I'm just going to go with that pick because I told him, he said, crap. So I know that's the pick he wants. So we're going to give it to him right here, right now. Let me double check the tier because I believe it's copper. Yes, it's copper because I think that's what he had left. Yes. Okay. He is taking at the copper tier. Barrett Riley Harrison, defensive end. That's at Harlow on Slack. So defensive end
6'5".
Barrett. Defensive end Barrett Riley Harrison, copper tier, goes to the Hawks. All right, the Cobras roster is full. This means the Denver Yeti are now on the clock. Okay. We will be skipping over 3 picks in this round so far.
Alrighty.
Because the Cobras picked at 2nd, the Stallions picked at 4th, and again at 16, so we don't need either pick. And the compensatory pick's not needed because their roster's full, so we can skip over that to make out another pick. I forgot.
Alex said he's full now, too?
Double check his run. Means the Nightmares are actually going to have the first pick of the 6th round.
Awesome.
And not only that, they're going to pick back-to-back. They're going to have back-to-back picks in the 6th round because they picked 3rd. The Stallions were supposed to pick 4th. They're full, and it goes back to the Nightmares at 5.
Nice.
So that works out for him nicely. And I know Mr. Chisholm is typing. So his pick's clearly coming across the board now. Yeah, man, we're going to have a bunch of full teams. I think that gives us 4 full teams right now: the Cobras, the Stallions, the Hawks, and the Outlaws. So 12 teams still aren't full, but they're getting there. Okay. While we wait on Mr. Chisholm's pick here in this round, as I said, the Stallions are full, so Nightmares, you could begin working on your pick. Tokyo picks after them.
Since we're waiting, and since you made your comment, oh goody, about the TLC, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. Because several of their major stars are out with a viral infection, so they had to change matches around and add this and take that away and do this, and so we'll see what happens.
Okay. Kurt Angle's wrestling.
Yep.
All right. We have the pick. And the Denver Yeti are going to go silver free safety Cardinal Stevens.
Gotta love that name.
Huh. All right. Silver free safety Cardinal Stevens. Nashville Nightmares are on the clock.
AJ Styles, the best wrestler in the world, is going to face Finn Balor tonight. Yeah, he is. I wouldn't say he's the best wrestler in the world, but
To make sure I don't mess up like I did last time Mo picked, Mr. Maurice Spurgeon, I'm going to make sure I'm not on his window.
there you go.
This way the alerts can come through. Okay. Some great builds. I'm sitting here, since I just did Cardinal Stevens and free safety, there's a couple good solid free safeties left. Hell, most of them are pretty solid. Okay, let's see. I forgot to read this. The Cardinal Stevens free safety. The Yeti will be moving him to corner.
Nice.
I didn't catch it because I saw that he actually was already included his abilities when he made the selection. I just thought it was a list of abilities. I didn't think to read them. And at the end of it, it showed, hey, I'm moving him.
All right. Got some interesting wrestling talk in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Guys going back and forth on who's the best wrestler right now. Mr. Davis is saying AJ Styles. Matt Soper's saying it's Okada.
Uh-huh. So
AJ's
they're
good,
talking.
I still can't get over. Yeah, like I said, AJ's good, but I can't get past that damn soccer mom hair of his.
Okay. His soccer mom hair. Man, I would probably put AJ Styles at 10. Like if I gave you a top 10 list, I'm gonna shock you with this list. We'll put AJ Styles 10, and I'm gonna put Kenny Omega 9, who you know I have no fucking love for. But I do it because he does put asses in the seats, and I'll give him credit because that's what makes a wrestler.
They love him in Japan.
I'm going to put Asuka 8. How about
Asuka.
that? Yeah.
She makes her return tonight. She's going to kick the shit out of Emma. It ain't even going to be.
At 7, Zack Sabre Jr.
I wish they could sign. I wish they'd find a way to sign him and bring him back, but he just won't. I don't know what it is. He's just reluctant to sign with him.
Yeah, I can never say the
That's right, guys. We're talking wrestling. We're talking IFL. We're doing it all tonight.
I can't say the poor guy's name right, but Tetsuya Naito. I put him at 6. I can never say his name right. Even when I hear it, I can't say it. Kind of like the quarterback we have in the league. Kairi Hojo probably be number 5. She's crazy. Hirakumi Takahashi. I said his name. I just butchered that right. Takahashi.
Sorry.
I have him. He's probably 4. Keith Lee, who nobody talks about, is a fucking monster. He is the fucking man. Look for him to be in WWE soon and be the fucking guy, along with guys like Ricochet, and Jeff Cobb and Donovan Dijak.
They finally signed him. I love it.
Who's that?
Ricochet.
Yeah. They even got Leo Rush.
Ricochet is holy shit.
We're gonna also number 2. I'm gonna put Katsuhiro Shibata. That'd be number 2, and clearly, Okada's the best wrestler on the planet right now. That's right. I gave you a bunch of Japanese wrestlers.
They're all something else.
Okay, well, Maurice took his limit, and he has forfeited this pick.
Alrighty.
And that being said, he now gets another 90 seconds because he's on the clock again. Tokyo Kitsune is on deck. So he can work on his potential pick. Yeah, I told you we should do some shows where we talk about all kinds of stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get it out there. Wrestling, talk NFL.
Yeah, I've been watching wrestling since I was 4 or 5 years old, and I'm an old man, so I've seen a lot of guys come and go.
Yeah. Yep. Maurice is down to 40 seconds for this pick.
But yeah, the viral infection that these superstars have is actually the mumps. I saw that, and I even showed my wife, and she says, "I didn't think adults could get that." I said, "Yeah." She was thinking the same thing I was. Usually you get your shots and stuff for all that, chicken pox, mumps, all that when you're a kid. Well, maybe some of these guys and girls didn't.
All right, 90 seconds up again. He forfeits that pick as well. Oh,
wow.
Boy.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what to think of that.
I have no idea what. Well, maybe he's figuring there's somebody you could get in free agency and say the heck with it.
But Tokyo, you are now on the clock. The Grizzlies and the Liberty are the next 2 up. It looks like the Yeti are trying to make a deal in the chat room. And Alex is saying he has picks. Technically, Alex doesn't have picks because his roster's full. So he loses those picks. Let's see where Mr. Ramos and the Kitsune go.
I have to check this out here.
Yeah, and I'm going to let everybody know I am going to allow until tomorrow. I was going to say this yesterday and forgot to mention it, but you have until tomorrow. Some owners have already taken advantage of it that wanted to do it. You have until tomorrow to submit any uniform change you may want. So whatever uniform code you sent me last is the uniform code you will have set up. So if you want to change anything in your uniform, you got to get me that code by tomorrow. And when I say by tomorrow, I mean by 8 o'clock Eastern. So you have 25 hours basically to get that done. All right, we have the pick in.
Wow.
So let me find him on the list so I can shade him to red and then make the announcement. Let's see. Where's he at? I believe there he is. I think I just had it. Yes, there he is. Okay. And bang. All right. The Tokyo Kitsune are taking at the bronze tier. Inside linebacker, Matt Sanders. That's bronze tier. Inside linebacker, Matt Sanders.
Good Lord, that was a hell of a streak.
What do you mean, what streak?
Oh, Joe Thomas got hurt during the game.
Outside of the
Ended
kicker?
his
Wow. Streak of plays?
consecutive snaps. Yeah. 10,363.
Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah. By the way, the Green Bay Grizzlies are on the clock. We've had a nice run on defensive players here outside of the kicker being sandwiched in between there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I don't know if you saw it or not, because I know you were, when we were on the phone, you were going nuts about him leaving the field.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer is now out 8 weeks with a broken arm.
He has a freaking boo-boo.
Well, they said it's a broken arm.
They were saying during the game, he has a black and blue mark on his arm. That's it. And they were making fun of him. Now all of a sudden it's a broken arm. I call shenanigans. All right, Grizzlies pick is in. They're going bronze, strong safety, Tyler Dawson. Hey, bronze, strong safety, Tyler Dawson. This means that the Boston Liberty are on the clock. Okay, that didn't take long. Okay. The Boston Liberty are taken at the copper tier. I believe that's correct. Copper tier. I believe that was what was just sent. Make sure I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that's what he should have. That's what he should have sent.
Yeah. Free safety Lee Dean. That's free safety Lee Dean at the copper tier. That means the Chicago Assassins are on the clock. Have you taken a look at the Chicago Assassins team?
Not really. I haven't really studied anybody, right?
I'm still waiting on them to make a pick. Do you know what pick that is?
Okay. No, I don't.
They do not have a running back yet.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be here.
So I've been waiting on that one. Thinking, what the heck is the delay on that one? But still haven't seen him. So we'll see where they go here.
Well, maybe like I said, maybe this is where they go with the.
Yeah, we'll see.
Very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. The Philly flight. Mr. Davis said that's why he traded up to get Cobb when he got him, because he was afraid Chicago was going to take him.
Oh, I can say they're not taking it here. Picks in.
Wow.
And they're going with a bronze inside linebacker, Josh Davis. They still have
Already.
one pick to go in the 6th round. You would assume that's where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Philadelphia flight, you are on the clock. I don't know what to make of that. I really thought they were going to go running back.
Strange.
If they're the only team that
Very
hasn't gone running
strange.
back, they're the only one I can think of that didn't go running back. So maybe it makes sense. Nobody else is probably going to take a backup running back, so why take a guy now?
That's true.
You can sit there and wait and get everything else taken care of now because your guy should be there. Okay. This pick does not surprise me because this, to me, is a perfect player to what I think Mr. Davis does. And he is taking at the silver tier wide receiver Alfonso Montgomery. A little tiny shit.
Alrighty.
Those of you who don't know who Alfonso Montgomery is on the board there, he is a 5'9", 171-pound wide receiver with route god, deep threat possession receiver, tough in the middle, soft hands, and acrobatic catches. An interesting build for a tiny little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that means the San Diego Bulldogs are on the clock.
Very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Bulldogs took a tight end earlier, last round, and round before, and now where they go here. All right, he must be thinking hard over there because normally he's already sent me a pick. He's been pretty much one of the more on guys here. All right, we got the pick. Okay, he is taking. Let me double check the tier. At bronze, wide receiver Alonzo Vaughn. Wide receiver Alonzo Vaughn. Okay. Now we're having another run on receivers.
Yes. 6'3", 205 pounds. With deep threat, speed burner, breakaway burst, quick feet, return specialist, and ankle breaker.
Let's see, where's he at here? Who's next? Okay, Atlanta Rhinos, you're on the clock. The Rhinos went with outside linebacker Tank Sherman earlier. Where do they go with this one?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. You go almost anywhere here. So many good players on this board. I just keep browsing them and just looking at players. It's like, sheesh.
What am I going to miss?
What am I going to miss?
What am I going to miss? Drew? They have the match yet?
Okay, the pick's in.
With my girl, Sasha Banks.
Oh, brother. Okay.
She might be the hottest thing in the world.
Yeah, with her receding hairline.
I don't care, man. She is hot.
All right. Let me make sure I have the name right. Okay, I do. And the Rhinos have selected outside linebacker at bronze, Justin Jenkins. So they took bronze outside linebacker Tank Sherman and now take another bronze outside linebacker and Justin Jenkins.
Alrighty.
And they closed out their last pick in round 3 yesterday was a bronze inside linebacker and Antonio Slayer. So their last 3 picks have all been bronze linebackers. Interesting.
Very, very, very interesting.
All right, Winnipeg Crusaders, you are on the clock. Wow. 3 bronze linebackers. I don't even know how I think about that. Okay, they wasted no time. That pick's already. Wow. They knew who they wanted. That's not shocking. They've been on that since we've been doing this draft. Okay. And they have taken an outside linebacker Double checking it's here. Outside linebacker. At Copper, Kevin Washington. Okay, outside linebacker Kevin Washington to the Copper tier. Update the board. Dallas has an updated board because they are next. All right, Wranglers, you are on the clock.
Look, it says it's charging, but it's not even plugged in.
Bronze linebackers, is that what Mighty was asking me? He said, isn't that what I had in LA? Yeah, I think so. I think that's why my linebackers were suspect to the pass. They were dominant against the run, even though they were bronze, but against the pass, they were That's why I said, I don't know what I think about that. Now, if he can figure it out, more power to him. And that was my first season, so I was, for the most part, clueless. So let's see where Mr. Dallas Wrangler goes here with this pick. I think he's had a very decent draft so far.
Yep.
Okay. His pick is in. Just got to write it down. Okay. Double check the tier. All right, he's taking a bronze cornerback in Kelvin Givens. Bronze cornerback Kelvin Givens. So Givens is a 6'1", 199-pound corner. Okay, that means we are at pick 15 in the 5th round. The last pick of this round, then we go into the 6th round. And wow. Sending a message so he knows. I'm gonna be generous to him. Okay. Here's the situation before I put them officially on the clock. The 15th pick belongs to the Nashville Nightmares, who have already forfeited 2 picks by not being here this particular round. So that being said, he picks 15th. The 16th pick belongs to the Stallions, whose roster is full. New York has the compensatory pick. Their roster is full. The start of the 6th round is Detroit and New York. Their rosters are full. Nashville picks 3rd. Tampa Bay picks 4th. Again, their roster is full. Nashville picks 5th. Therefore, the Nashville Nightmares have the next 3 picks. I am going to, right now, Maurice, start the clock. I will give you the minute and 30 seconds for all 3 picks in one shot so you can send them all at once. So you will be on the clock for the next 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Go. So while we wait for him, we'll see. Because I can sit here and say minute 30 up, forfeit, minute 30 up, forfeit. I'll just give them all 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Sounds fair enough. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
So he is on the clock. I'm going to see what I caught up with. Davis said 4 minutes. What the fuck? He's got 3 picks in a row. Davis, 1:30 on each pick. It's 90 seconds. 1:30 and 1:30 is 3 minutes. Another 1:30 is 4.5 minutes. So he has 4.5 minutes. Send me all 3 picks in one shot. Fair enough.
Yep, since he's basically the one who's doing all the drafting.
3 picks in a row that are separated. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 8 picks in a row here, and he's got 3 of them in a row that are separated within those 8 picks because of full rosters.
All right, who drafts after him in the
Tokyo?
That's his second. Tokyo's got the 6th pick.
Yes, Tokyo will be picking 6. So Tokyo, you might as well get your pick ready just in case, because
And then Green Bay and Boston.
Yeah. So after the Nashville team makes their 3 picks here or forfeits, it'll be Tokyo, Green Bay, Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, San Diego, Atlanta, Winnipeg, Dallas, Baltimore, and then Tampa Bay has a full roster, and New York has a full roster in the compensatory pick. I won't say who asked me what, who did this, that, and whatever, but if you go to the website and go to the rookie board, the draft board, any player in red is drafted. Anyone still in black text is not. So we'll see.
Mighty said we want to know if we can give a recap of the field teams and our thoughts.
That's definitely something I want to do. I will say this. If Ed is available tomorrow, I plan on trying to fire out a podcast because we'll have rosters for the most part filled except for free agent players that are going to get picked up. And we have quite a few teams that are full or are missing a piece and or 2, and a lot of them are going to be coppers. I can see that now. So they're just basically going to be filler pieces for the most part, but who knows what people are going to do. But I don't know what your schedule looks like tomorrow, Ed.
As long as everybody goes to school, I should be good.
All right, which means probably 1 o'clock like usual tomorrow afternoon. We'll put that together. Yeah, I definitely want to do that, and I'm going to let everybody know. Once every single roster is full, Ed and I have already talked about this, and we want to do this. Once all 16 rosters are full, we're actually going to do 4 different podcasts. Each podcast is going to focus on one division only, and we're going to talk in detail about all 4 teams within the division, give our take, and pretty much give our predictions. Because you now know what the team build is, you know the coach, you know their staff, you know what they got involved, you know what the division looks like. Now you can start making, your predictions. So once free agency's over and all 16 teams have all 14 players, you can look out for those podcasts. And God willing, those 4 podcasts will take place back to back during the week. But chances are that ain't going to happen with my work schedule, Ed having the kids home sometimes. But I would like to try and get all 4 podcasts done within a 1-week period. That would be
awesome.
Be the ideal thing. If not,
and we'll have another podcast for the schedule release.
Because that's already ready. I know who plays who week 1. So the owners, yous are the ones right now who are in control of when that gets released. Because once all the rosters are full, that's when we're going to release the schedule. So guys know, I don't want guys saying, oh, I play you week 1. I need to get better in this position. Let me go find that free agent. Not going to happen. So once all the rosters are full, then we'll release the schedule. Maurice is down to 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and oh boy.
All 3 forfeit all 3 of his picks.
Oh boy. I don't know what to say. I'm not sure what the heck he's doing. Don't know what he's doing. That's actually depressing. All right. Tokyo Kitsune is on the clock. I'm pretty sure I know where he's going because he was just asking me about it. So after Tokyo, it is Green Bay and then Boston. So those teams can start looking for what they want to do. That's exactly what I thought he was going to do. All right. The Tokyo Kitsune are taking at Copper cornerback Jason Bryant. That's cornerback Jason Bryant at a Copper tier. So that will take us to the Grizzlies. So the Green Bay Grizzlies are on the clock. And their pick's in already. Holy crap.
Nice.
That was good. Okay, where's he got him? I didn't even get a chance to start the clock. I was just getting ready to press the button, and there he was. All right, Copper tier. Spell the guy's name right. Okay. The Grizzlies have selected at Copper inside linebacker Carlito Ramirez. That means the Boston Liberty is on the clock. What the shit? You guys are going to have to give me just a moment. I believe my computer screen is broken. I know I just didn't read that.
Yes, you did.
If you sent me what you thought it was supposed to be, I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yes. That's where we're going.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Boston Liberty have selected at the Copper tier. Hold your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because this is wow. They are taking the 6'5", 345-pound Ben Pike at offensive guard. The Boston Liberty are going offensive guard Ben Pike. Wow. I'm waiting to see what kind of reaction we get out of the chat room on that one.
Personally, I don't give a shit.
What was, I have to ask, and I'm sure that the community is going to want to know, what possessed you to even consider a lineman, or is that secretive? Because you don't want to tell us.
It's never been done.
Fair enough.
That we know of. And you know me.
Not in this league.
Yeah, it's and as far as I know, I don't know if it's ever been done in the other league. If it was, I was never around when it did.
NY Kia.
But well, as much as I like Kia, there's a difference between me and Kia. But you saw what Bo did last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's not afraid to try things.
Right.
We were talking. I'm not afraid to try things. So we're going to try something different. Mm-hmm. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Hey, We're not going to sweat it.
Definitely something different. Okay. And I didn't even get a chance to tally it, but the Chicago Assassins are on the clock, and they've already sent me their pick.
Yeah, I'm sure guys are already going, oh, my God, why would he do that? He's stupid. You know what? At least we got the balls to try it.
Well, like I said, things don't work in other leagues. And this goes even for people who use Madden. Things don't work. And the only way to find out if something works somewhere else is to try it. So
hell yeah.
I got to give Boston credit. They're going to make themselves the guinea pig, and it could come back to bite them in the ass. But let's put it this way. If it works, they'll know more inside why it worked than anybody else, which puts them ahead of everybody else when they start trying it next season. So I'll give you that. I don't even have to mention, but the Philadelphia Flight are on the clock because I already got his pick sent. He sent me it like 4 picks ago.
But, yeah, like I said, I have big shoulders. And, I'm willing to try anything. And, how many times have we said it? Even though we try to make it real, and it is a video game. So what the hell? Yeah.
I like
I'm not, like I said, we're not getting paid for this. There's no money on the line. It's to have fun. So if we figure out something that works, and then everybody else go, damn, and if it comes back to bite us in the ass, and then everybody can say, well, see, we told you it wasn't going to work. I don't care.
Well, I don't know if you paid attention to much of the chat.
The chat.
But we've got daring.
You liking it?
Mighty says that's daring. Davis says a fast guard on trap plays. Ron Harlow was like, oh, shit. Davis goes, he can get to the second level defender faster. Chisholm said, Browns 2.0. Alex is, wow. Ramos said, I mean. Anyway, guards work fine because of trap and counter plays. Not a bad choice. So, all in all, you're getting more love than not. So, there you go.
Well, maybe everybody was thinking it. Should we try it? And they just didn't want to do it. So, hey, like I said, I'll do it.
Make himself the guinea pig.
I'll be the guinea pig for the league. Hell yeah.
All
Why
right.
not?
That means the San Diego Bulldogs are on the clock. And we'll see where he goes.
What the hell were those picks? I didn't even hear who picked what.
Yeah, I got to give the flight pick because I got off track. The Chicago Assassins take running back Joseph Berry at bronze. So they got the running back. Chicago Assassins go Joseph Berry, bronze running back. And then the Philadelphia Flight took outside linebacker Shea Reed at copper. So, again, that's Chicago Assassins, halfback Joseph Berry, bronze, and copper outside linebacker Shea Reed to the Flight, putting the San Diego Bulldogs on the clock. We got such good discussion.
Sorry about that.
Totally forgot I didn't announce it.
He got all flustered talking about Boston taking the guard. He didn't know what to do.
I got so flustered heading the discussion, I forgot to announce the picks. Wow.
Wow. He said he didn't think they had the balls.
Oh.
Do you not know who you were talking to?
The balls. You said the balls.
I'm not going to lie. I'll tell you like it is. I got the biggest balls there are.
We're going to get that checked.
Hey. And Bo's not afraid to tell you what he's going to do either. So I've told everybody before, running a 3-4. I ran a 3-4. It's no secret.
All right, Bulldogs pick is in. They are going bronze. I can tell you that right now. Yes, a bronze free safety and Trayvon Webb. Free safety, Trayvon Webb, bronze to the Bulldogs.
Chris says you won't have the biggest by the time
It disappeared. There he is.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
All righty.
All right, let's take a look here. Gets back to the draft board. The Atlanta Rhinos are on the clock. Where do the Rhinos go?
They can go anywhere they want.
I remember we were just talking about them earlier. I don't remember why. Don't remember why the heck we had a small conversation on them for some reason. I'm trying to remember what it was.
I don't even remember.
Okay, let's see where these Rhinos go. It's getting down to the nitty gritty in some spots. All right, the pick is in. And just like that, I remember what the hell we were talking about.
Yeah?
Yes. And you'll know why in a second. Once I make this announcement. Okay. Round 3. I'm going back to round 3. The Rhinos took inside linebacker Antonio Slayer. In round 4, outside linebacker Tank Sherman. In round 5, outside linebacker Justin Jenkins. All were bronze. And now here in the 6th round, they're taking inside linebacker Toledo Hernandez at bronze. So their last 4 picks have been 2 inside and 2 outside linebackers, all at the bronze tier. That's interesting. Clearly a 3-4 indication.
I would think.
Yeah. So, Mr. 3-4, what is your thoughts on all 4 being at the bronze tier while we put the Winnipeg Crusaders on the clock?
Good work.
All at bronze? That doesn't scare you at all?
Dude, you know me. I don't sweat nothing.
Back to them big balls.
I don't sweat shit.
Oh, hell.
Hey, you want to try it? Try it. Why not? We've seen bronze players step up and do amazing things. Hell, we've seen copper and generic guys step up and do stuff. So why not try it?
I don't know if he's willing to share some information, but maybe Mr. DW6 Killer and the Rhinos, maybe they put out some money or something that maybe Mr. Chisholm and the Denver Yeti will talk to him, because when you mention linebackers at bronze, the one guy I know who's always had successful linebackers at bronze is Mr. Chisholm. His own player has been very successful at bronze everywhere he goes.
So, hell yeah. Bo just sent me a text.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's waiting for this draft to get up so he can send this free agent player he wants. He's ready to send it already.
And do remember, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to free agency, just like the earlier free agency, if there is a equal bid that's placed, the team that had the worst record or the highest draft pick is what we should say, will be awarded the player. So whatever the original IFL draft order was, will determine who gets said player. So the Detroit Hawks, they're basically knowing they're going to get any player they want as long as they have the highest bid because they had the first pick. They will win any tie that they are in. So
they don't need anybody. Their roster's full.
Right. I was just using that as an example. And I have the pick from the Crusaders, just confirming it. Awesome. We have the pick. And they are going Copper tight end, Buster Romo. Oh, hey, hold on. He's saying, hold on 1 second. Oh, wait. Maybe he said something wrong. Give me 1 second. He's got 15 seconds left on his clock to make that change, whatever it may be. If there was one. We'll be down now to the final 2 picks of the day. Be the end of the draft.
Which is who? Dallas and
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Okay. I'm giving Matt 10 seconds to figure this out. If not, he's kicking the pick that he originally mentioned, which I should actually hold him to begin with. But I'm willing to give him a little bit more leniency just because of the fact that I know he has the issues that he has. And I don't think anybody will cry foul about that. That was correct.
Sasha
okay.
What?
Tight end Buster Romo at Copper. They want to make sure that was right. He did confirm, yes, that is correct. So tight end Buster Romo, Copper tier, goes to the Crusaders. Dallas Wranglers are on the clock.
Well, David said he already sent you his free agent players.
No antsy, is he? Hey, excited. Yeah, we're going to see where this last pick goes for these guys. Wranglers' final pick of the draft, and then I know they're going to have some open spots they're going to need to fill. And remember, gentlemen, include years and things like that with the player because that's also going to make a difference in the amount of a tie because the amount of years can make a difference because it means you're more committed to the player than the other guy. All right, we got the pick in from Dallas. All right, let me get over here and look at it. Baltimore's probably sitting there itching just to send me their pick. Okay. Dallas Wranglers are taking bronze outside linebacker Joey Stevens.
Alrighty.
That means the Baltimore Bulls are on the clock, and while we wait for them to send their pick, which I know they probably already sent it. But, yep, they did. So that being said, now that this draft is over, I need everyone's abilities for these players they just drafted tonight within 48 hours. So that was 48 hours of when the draft started. Okay, so you have till 6 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday night to finalize all abilities for players that you took tonight. And the draft or the free agency opens now and will close at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And whoever the highest bidders are, I'm going to open it up right now. When I say now, as soon as I make the announcement for Baltimore. Even though guys can send them, it really don't make a difference. But highest bid will get the guy 8 o'clock, 24 hours after. So 24 hours from 8 o'clock tonight. So that's 8 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be going on Slack and making the announcements on the announcements channel instead of coming on here and doing announcements, which I could do, and I might do if my time permits. If not, it's just going to be on the announcements page. You know, said team has acquired said player and so on and so forth to fill out their rosters. Here's also going to be the rules. If you put an offer in on, say, 4 players at the same position and you win all 4 players, you now have a dilemma. You now have to figure out who you're going to cut and who you're not going to cut, and then there goes salary cap. So don't overbid. Don't overdo the players. Make sure you have it set up precisely. Figure out the positions you need and target one guy per position, your key player. That's what's going to make this interesting. This is why I told people to get picks. It was key. So if you need 4 players at one position, you see them sitting there, you want to bid on all of them, and you happen to be the highest bidder on all of them, you've won all 4. So what are you going to do? Target the most important guy to you at said position, see if you can win him. If not, move on to the next. Put the highest bid in you can on a player. Might suck. Ed, I know you and I had something we wanted to mention as far as salary cap goes. Do you want to make that announcement with this right now? Did you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead and make the announcement.
Okay. We know some teams have salary cap left. You have space. You have money unused. We weren't going to make this announcement until after everything was taken care of because we didn't want people to manipulate their boards and take any advantage they could of things, find every loophole. So any team that has money left, you have 48 hours from 8 o'clock tonight. So this is Sunday. You have 48 hours, so Tuesday at 8 o'clock to use your money. So any contract that you have already submitted can now be raised. So if you have submitted, say, a 3-ability silver player, I'm like, damn, I wish I'd add that 4th ability. If the money's available, you can do it. You may upgrade any current contract of any current player on your roster to fit the space. Any team looking to sign free agents, they don't fall under the category. So any player that's going to be signed as a free agent, they get what they get. Any current players on the rosters can be raised. Those players only. So if you're sitting on cap space, now you can use it. I don't want people to have cap space going to waste. I want everybody to be at the strongest team they can produce, the best thing they can produce. So while I keep mentioning some of this stuff, I'm going to get in here and mention the pick from the Bulls because they had sent it to me a few minutes ago. Sent it 4 minutes ago, and he writes, can't believe he's still here. Mr. Irrelevant, bronze cornerback, Sean Dudley.
Alrighty.
Bronze Dudley. I said Bronze Dudley. Sean Dudley at bronze. Oh, God. All right. Now, that being said, the rosters are now, the draft's over. The draft is complete. If you need an updated roster of your team because you're afraid yours could be wrong, you might have an error or whatever, message me. We'll see if our rosters are concur with each other, and we'll get them together, and then you'll know where you're at and know where you're at cap-wise. For those unaware of cap space and how it works, copper abilities are 1 million apiece. Bronze are 2 million apiece. Silvers are 3 million apiece, and gold are 4 million apiece. It's the easiest way to follow your cap space and to know where you're going with your players. owners who selected their teams tonight, the players tonight, again, I need those abilities within 48 hours. So, again, that's also by 8 o'clock Tuesday. So you have a lot of things that are deadlined 8 o'clock Tuesday. Uniforms, abilities on players drafted tonight, and any upgrades to your current players' contracts. So there you go. I hope that everybody's figured all that out. Don't forget anything and don't miss anything. And there you go. And remember, don't overbid on a position. Because if you have 3 roster spots left and you overbid on positions and you win, say, 5 players, again, you're going to be awarded all 5 players, and they're now your responsibility. And to get free of them, you're going to have to cut people. And remember, we have a rule that has to do with cutting players. And you lose salary cap by cutting players. And that's going to be the problem. So you're going to have to pay attention to everything, the whole rule. That's why I was preaching to everybody, get picks. Cutting players. Owner can cut any player that he's signed. Okay, now if you cut a player, all right, like it says, player under a 3-season deal may opt out of their contract after a 2nd season. That's nothing to do with you. But for you, players under a 2-season deal may opt out with permission of their owner. And then it says, must approve being cut from their current team. Now, the one rule we forgot to put in here was the penalty. And I really don't want to throw the penalty out considering it wasn't within the rule book. And that was an error on all of us at the staff for not putting it in there. But the penalty was going to be, what did we say, 10%? I think it's what we said, 10% of the contract.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, so it was 10% of the contract. So if you sign a guy that's say, gold player, 6 ability contract, that's $24 million. And if you cut him, that's 10%. So I believe that'd be $2.4 million. So now you'll be down to $37.5 million, $37.5 million in cap space. That's how that would work. So again, like I said, don't overbid on players, gentlemen. Pick a guy, go get him. If you get him, if not, go for the next guy. If you need a player at a certain position and it's taken and there's none left, as I said, I will give you then the leeway to create a player because it's the only fairest thing to do. I want guys to have their fair build. We did our best to put as many available players out there as possible. We might not have done it perfectly, so therefore we're willing to help guys out, and that's the fairest way to do it. But I think there's enough players left, but we'll see. So, Ed, you have any other things you want to throw out there?
Nope.
All right, so Chisholm real quick says, can defensive ends move to outside linebacker? We've already seen it done, so yes. That's happened. It was accepted yesterday, and one of the players was made. There's a lot of deadlines now, 8 o'clock deadlines. Need abilities, need uniforms, need updated contracts if you want to add anything to your players. So whatever you guys send me, when you send me your abilities for your players you drafted tonight, let me know if you don't send all of it, if your roster is now official. So the best thing would be to do for everybody to do would be send me all 14 players in one shot with all abilities, all everything. The amount of years on their contracts, the whole 9 yards. So this way you know what you got, and then I'll update my end, and I'll, and you have your end. We'll make sure everything's curd and make sure we're under the 140 cap or at the 140 limit. And then it's just going to be all about starting to build the rosters and get the editor opened up, start building, and then you guys can begin to prepare your playbooks. And there will be a preseason week. That's the plan. I shouldn't say will be. That is the plan. We hope we can pull that off. So be on the lookout for the podcast because there's going to be some podcasts this week, plural, whether I can pull them off by myself, whether Ed can pull them off with me, whether Ed does one by himself. But there will be a couple this week because we're going to have to update as we go along because now we're in the home stretch of finalizing rosters. And it's been a fun month and a half since the season ended. So, all right. Ed said he didn't have nothing left to say.
Nope.
Chat room's gone quiet. So, good luck, gentlemen. The free agents, Ramos real quick said, how can he see who's free agents? Again, go to the website. Look for the rookie/draft board. Any player that is in black is a free agent. Any player that's in black is a free agent. I will also add, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to add at the top of the screen right now while I'm talking to you guys. Last year's players. Okay. And it's going to be a list of last year's players. The ones that are going to be at the very top. When you look at these players can also be bid on. Their abilities are in parentheses. You want to get their heights, you want to get their weights and all that good stuff, you go to the players page. And I'm going to put that note here. So guys know. And these are players that did not get signed in the last cycle. You know what? I just updated it myself. I just put it in there. All right, now you got the player's position, his name, his height, his weight, the amount of abilities that he has, and what his name is on Slack if he has one, if he's a human player. So those players are also available at the top. I'm updating it right now. So fullback Chad Fraser, he will be there. Tight end Dallas Crestwood, tight end Chad Moroso, outside linebacker Ryan Mondo, defensive tackle Ro Brodeen. These players are all there now, available to be added to the free agent period. So you just have those guys also to bid on. So that just upped that 5 more players to the free agent list. So anyone in black text is available. When we get the bids in tomorrow and I go over the wins, we'll be making those players in red. So it's that simple. And then any player who remains in red or black when the season starts, they will be left there for next year's draft class. So you can already start studying for next year. And then we'll start adding players as we go throughout the season for next year's draft class. So we'll be way ahead of it. So, Ed, now do you have anything left to say?
Nope.
All right. So now everything's done. Everything's up. Everything's ready to go. And happy bidding, gentlemen. So everybody in the chat room, thanks. Everybody who catches the playback, thanks. Ed, appreciate you being here. So that said, we're done here tonight. So
all right. Later.
all right, we'll catch y'all's asses down the road later.